Hello and welcome to our next video in the Living Actively series. I'm Marsha Woodfield, and if this is your first time joining me, I am currently doing a video series about different ways that we can start to live our lives actively, meaning connecting internally and intuitively to ourselves so that we become clearer about how we want to live our lives, what we want our lives to look like, and how we can go about setting them up to look that way. In my last video, I talked about pointing your boat and experiencing the journey. And today I want to expand on that. I want to talk about it in a slightly different way. The perspective that I'm coming from today is actually one from yoga. And it's one that I use a lot in my daily life. For those of you who aren't as familiar with yoga and its full spectrum of benefits, there is much more to it than asana or the physical practice of yoga. And these other components can really inform and guide us in our lives. So there are teachings called Yoga Sutras, and they are concepts explained in the simplest and most direct way possible. One of them is called Kriya Yoga, which is the yoga of action. The words of the sutra are tapaha, svadhyaya, ishvana pranidhanani. And very simply put, this is effort, self-reflection, and letting go. These three parts of Kriya Yoga are also found in the Niyamas, which is another yoga sutra about personal observances and how to think about and treat oneself. I have a part of my wall over here at home painted as a chalkboard, and one of the things I have written on there is that last word, Ishvara Pranidhana, which described by itself can mean focusing on the quality of day-to-day activities rather than their results. What does it mean to do this? Think of it as focusing on the quality of everything we do. So whether it's doing the dishes, brushing our teeth, making an Excel sheet for work, or just spending time with people, we can apply this to anything and everything that we do and try to do it with that focus, that quality of what we're doing and not worrying so much about the end results. It's really about being in the present moment as much as possible. And I find that this word or sutra is a really nice reminder of how to think about being in the present moment. So let's take a look at the other two pieces of this, which are tapaha and svadhyaya. Tapaha, as I said, is effort, but it's not just effort, it's vigor and eagerness. So again, even there, thinking about the quality of the effort, it's really about putting our full effort into the things that we do and putting our full selves, our whole selves into our actions. The second part is svadhyaya, which is directly about self-reflection, self-discovery, and self-identity. And when I think about identity or self-identity, I think about ego. So this is really about, are we able to observe ourselves and observe where the ego might be taking over and understand that there's a separate part of ourselves, which is our true selves. It's separate from the ego. But noticing where the ego often likes to take over and run the show. So I could probably spend a whole video talking about and exploring each one of these things, and they're really worth exploring. In fact, it's one of the things that I really like to do in my coaching is help people explore internally what's going on, what motivates you to do things in your life, and how that self-reflection and self-discovery can really bring us toward the path of figuring out how to get where we want to go, circling back to this idea of living actively. So I want to take a moment now and practice connecting internally by just focusing on the breath. So wherever you are, find some comfort and relaxation in your body. Close your eyes if you want. And just find your breath. Take note of your breath. Use it to point yourself internally. And take a moment to meditate on this idea of focusing on the quality of day-to-day activities rather than their results. What might be some things that you can apply this idea, in your daily life? So if you had your eyes closed, you can slowly open them and come back into the room. And just take this thought with you for today. See if you can apply it into your daily life. And thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to sharing more with you next week. Ways that you can start to live your life actively rather than passively or reactively. Until next time, peace.